Hi, and welcome back to the Knitting is My Jam podcast. My name is Celine, and I'll be your host, and I hope that by watching Knitting this is also your jam, and I hope you'll join me on this fiber fun adventure. I am coming to you from Tasmania, Australia, where spring has finally sprung. It is finally starting to warm up here. We are going to be hitting 21 degrees Celsius next week, and we are all very excited. Not that it has been a super cold winter, but I think everyone is a little bit sick and tired of being so cold. I have a few FOs for you today. I also have a few whips. I have a new whip to show you. And today I also have some cross stitch. But first and foremost, I think we should talk about the elephant in the room, which is obviously what I am wearing. When you saw this 2 weeks ago, it was just a little bit of a back piece. I recently had a week off university for our mid-semester break, and so I got some really good knitting time in, and I managed to finish this cardigan. This is the Marion cardigan by Andy Satterland. I knit it out of Plucky Knitter in their trusty base, which is 100% merino in a worsted weight. This is the Laugh Out Loud colorway, which has lots of speckles. If you want to see some details, I will put cutaway footage right out here. I will also have pictures up on my Instagram if you want to have a look at the details. I should have mentioned before, but my Instagram is also Knitting is My Jam, and I am on Ravelry as NZ Original. There is usually a project page for every project that I am working on in case I forget to mention things like needle size and yarn. It's usually all there. Also, any modifications I try to write up there as well. I managed to get full-length sleeves out of the cardigan. I knit the decreases just like Andy said to knit them, and when I had finished decreases, I'm not sure if my gauge in the round was quite a bit bigger than knitting in the flat, but the decreases ended up finishing right about here, so I thought I could squeeze out long sleeves. I did manage. I played quite a bit of serious game of yarn chicken, which resulted in me having to rip out my swatch, but hey ho, we have won and we got long sleeves out of it. The buttons that I am wearing, which you will have seen in the cutaway footage on this cardigan, are from Arrow Mountain, who I have talked about before. She is on Etsy. She is so lovely to deal with, and I will continue buying her buttons, and they're super lovely and they arrived super quick. We never get mail this quick here in Tasmania. It was literally overnight, which is phenomenal. She lives in Melbourne and I have never had a package arrive that fast. I knitted on 5mm needles. I think I knit this on my Knitter's Pride marbles. Like I said, a lot of these details will be in last week's episode as well. I really love it. I will say, other than the long sleeve modification, I didn't make a single modification. I feel like it fits me really well around the bust. I knit the second size, I believe, and I will say that around the waist it is a little bit baggy. I think that's just because of my general shape, but I wish I had done a few more waist decreases. But hey ho, some things happen, and I'm not going to rip it all out and fix it. I'm too lazy for that. And so that's what it is. Like I said, all details will be on the project page. I will link it down below as always. And that is my first FO and what I am wearing. My second FO I don't even have here to show you. It is in Sydney with my dad. I finished my dad's socks for Father's Day, his office appropriate socks. Unfortunately, they didn't arrive on Father's Day. They arrived a couple days later, as is per was post with Tasmania. They don't tend to like us very much. We're all out of the way to get to. But they did arrive. He seems to love them. He really enjoys them, and they have been, in his eyes, office appropriate. I don't know if he's worn them to the office. I know he's worn them lots around the house. In fact, they've even been stolen by other members of my family. But I'm very happy that my dad's happy but I will continue to knit socks for him. Probably not until next year because I don't think I can stomach knitting size 12 to 14 US socks again. It takes a while. But next year, Dad, you'll get another pair next year. So now we're going to move on to some of my whips. And I don't have my mum's socks with me to share with you today. I haven't done any work on them. I'm still waiting for that mini to arrive from my mum. She is currently in the process of dyeing some sweater yarn for herself for me to make her a sweater for next winter. I'm very excited. She's quite excited. She currently has guests at the moment, so she's not doing a lot of dyeing, but it will be coming soon, and I look forward to receiving that as well with the mini for her socks. I have heard from her she does really like the pattern of the socks. She's very much looking forward to having another pair of socks. So in my knitting goddess bag, which you saw last week, I have got my Clark socks, which are from Jacqueline Salem, is the designer, who is the host of the Brooklyn Knit Folk podcast. It's got this really pretty cable down the front with the pearl ridges accent, and it also has a tiny cable down the back of the foot. I have knit mine with the Mina Phillip, who is the Knitting Expat mini heel flat with her German short row heel. I really like this heel. It fits most people that I have knit for, and a German short row heel is really easy to memorize. For most projects, if they tell me to do wrap and turn short rows, I will ignore it and do German short rows. They just make more sense to me. So last week, all you saw was just a tiny bit of a cuff. I have made quite a bit of progress. Not last week, 2 weeks ago. I have made quite a bit of progress. I have gotten through the heel. I am in the process of doing the small amount of gusset decreases. My progress keeper is the same one that was on the first sock last week, which is currently tangled in my yarn. It is the little donut cupcake. Again, I will put cutaways for small things that you can't see. This is knit out of Olam, which is an Irish dyer that I picked up at Skein Sisters when I was last in Sydney in their sock light base. I believe it's an 80-20 in the dusk colorway. Really simple socks. I have quite small feet, so hopefully by the next time I podcast, these are going to be done and I can show them to you. I don't think I'll get the opportunity to wear them just yet. Like I said, it is currently warming up here in Tasmania, but I will have them ready for next winter. So, the next project is also one that you saw last week. It is this tube, which is my Dory socks, if they have been affectionately named. This is the Scott yarn in their Bids sock, which I want to say is an 80-20. I might be wrong. I will link it down below somewhere. This is in their Blue Tang colorway. I'll be doing an afterthought heel. And last week, well, 2 weeks ago, I keep wanting to say last week. 2 weeks ago when you saw these, it was just a little nub of a toe, and it is no longer a nub of a toe. I am over halfway done. This is currently my going out with friends and my lecture knitting, so it has been getting quite a bit of work done on it. This is living in a project bag that I made using the same pattern that my mum does, which is a Tula pink fabric with jellyfish on it. Love this bag. Very easy to take around. And that's all there is to say about that. I knit both those socks on 2.25mm chuggoos, which I always forget to say, but if it's not said, you can generally assume that that's what that's knit on. Time to take a drink break. Now on to the exciting whips. So, in this bag, which is the same bag that you saw my Marion in last week. It's from my mum. It's her large size sweater bag. You did see this whip in a way a few weeks ago when I talked about it in dream knitting and I showed you the yarn. I have since cast it on. This is the Cherry Bloom, as it is called in English, cardigan by a wonderful, I believe she's Norwegian designer. I'm not going to pronounce her name because I'll butcher it, but I will put it on the screen so I don't offend anybody. And this is currently what I have. This is a cardigan that is steeped, so it is knit in the round. It has predominantly 3-stranded colourwork with a couple of rows that are 4-stranded, which are the rows that I get very frustrated on. This is definitely a project that is a challenge, but sometimes a challenge is good. If I don't like it in the end, I think I'll just rip it out and I'll try again. This has been a dream project of mine for quite a while, ever since I joined Ravelry and I saw it. It was one of the very first patterns I bought before I realised how hard it was. It is quite clear written, even though it has been, I believe, translated into English. It is quite clear, but it is knit, well, it is written in a very different style in comparison to, say, a designer who only writes in English. It's written in a style where it's like you have to do this and that and this all at the same time, and you kind of just have to figure things out. But that's okay. So this is where I am. I've only got about 9-10 rows of colourwork done. Again, I will put up close-ups if you can't see that. The yarn that I'm using is Holst yarn, and I have 4 cakes attached to this project at the moment. No, we'll just hold 2 at a time. So the main colour is called Crocus. It's this one here. It is a bluish tinge with a grey. This is the main colour of the flowers. It is called Sugar Snap. This is the centre of the flowers, which is called Damask. And this is the branches of the flowers, which is called Coffee, I believe. I am knitting this on High Highers, my interchangeable set, which was my very first set of circular needles. I believe I am knitting the colourwork on a 3.5mm needle. I did gauge swatch. It didn't quite get gauge, it was a little bit too tight, which is why I went up a needle size. I am going to be knitting the stockinette on a 3.25. I am knitting the second size, I believe. My gauge is probably going to be a little bit smaller than recommended, but I'm in between the smaller size and the next size up. So hopefully having a slightly smaller gauge, I think only by like half a stitch. It should work out okay. Blocking is always going to be the magic as well. So this is a slow going project, but I'm sure you will see more progress in the next coming weeks. My final project is not knitting related, but is living in a knitting bag. This is my yarn bar bag, who is a Etsy seller. I believe she's Canberra based. I am not sure if she is still making bags any longer, but if she is, I will put her Etsy down below. This is her large size, I believe, and it has a clear window. I tend to use this project bag for cross stitch more because it has the large clear window and it makes it very easy to see the pattern. So what I am working on is a sampler, an ABC, an alphabet sampler. This is for my boyfriend's cousin. Him and his wife are having their very first child. They are also quite large Star Wars fans, so I thought I would combine the two and do a Star Wars alphabet. This is from Weird Little Stitches. I bought this pattern off her Etsy. Again, I will link it all down below. I am stitching this on a Colour Cascade Fabrics, who is a Australian hand dyer for cross stitch fabric. This is 36 count Lugana Murano, I believe. The pattern does call for 18 count Ada, or I think the equivalent would be, yes, 36 count. So I think it's 32 count. I might be wrong. I'll put it on the screen somewhere. I know it's with Lugano Murano. This is the Dark Side of the Moon colourway. I have begun the stitches. I've done the M, N, and O, and begun the G, H, and I. This is using DMC floss. Just a very easy pattern. It is quite simple. It just has a lot of colours. It has a few stitches that I'm not super comfortable with, things like French knots and fractionals, but I'm muddling my way through and I think it looks okay. And all that matters is that the thought that counts as a gift. So I don't have any acquisitions to share with you today. I do have some yarn that is coming. Like I said, my mum is starting some sweater yarn for a sweater for herself. I also have some yarn that I ordered when my dad was last in the States, and it's going to be coming with that as they have it at the moment. So no acquisitions this week, but in the next coming weeks, hopefully I'll have that yarn to show you and share with you. I think that's going to be all from me today. I hope to see you in the next coming weeks on the 3rd episode of the Knitting is My Gem podcast, and please leave me a comment down below of what you're working on and what you would like to see on the podcast next time.